Morning. How are we all this morning? Hi Jane, hi Annette, hi Chris, hi Ronnie. Did you just hear my son? My son's joining in.
No, don't hear me.
He's only 25. Oh. Hi Christine. So this morning we're looking at the Fairy Hugs Halloween collection, which started to pre-order last week on my website, and it's being featured in 2 shows tomorrow morning on the craft store at 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. So there are 29 new stamps or stamp sets in the collection, but some of them, like this one here, which is your rooftops, you can imagine that hopefully with, say, Santa's sleigh going across. You faintly heard him. He's such a lark. Anyway, that's not what I normally say about him. Anyway, so this here you could have your Santa sleigh going across. The spooky moons are actually featured on some of the Fairy Hugs papers. So on my website, this is one of the ones from pack C. So you can see it's the same shape, but obviously depending on what you put with it, it doesn't have to be spooky at all. So you can make your own background, and like this is from the birthday collection. That's the spooky moon in the background there, but it's obviously part of the paper. So that's like I don't know, birthday scene, isn't it? So you don't have to use that in your spooky scenes if you don't want to. You've also got this one here, which is your stone stage. That can be used perhaps with the stone walkway, or you can stick the stone castle just on the end here. So again, that doesn't have to be Halloween. I mean, I'm not normally a Halloween person, but I must say I absolutely adore this collection because it's just something that you can have a little bit of fun with. You can lose yourself in it, and you know, if you've got children or grandkids that you normally go trick-or-treating, instead of knocking on somebody's door, why don't you gather a bunch of them round the table and make some Halloween projects? So I think that would be cool. So I've got back in my journal, this is the what's it called, Stone Castle, I believe. So I'm just learning all the words. Oh, Tree Castle, sorry. This one is your Tree Castle. So you could, instead of having your witchy dwellers flying around, you could have your condo dwellers flying around that. There's nothing particularly Halloweeny about that. It's definitely fairy tale. So again, you can use that in all of your projects. And I think I've got one back. Have I got one back here? No, I haven't. I've got one further on. So this is the one that I posted today, and this I will demo something like this, probably my first demo on the craft store at 9 a.m. I've got, and it annoys me, I don't know if you can see, but here I've got like leaking of my ink. I know I shouldn't draw attention to it, but it just bugs the hell out of me. And it's because I've stamped with VersaFine Clair here, this is the Golden Meadow, and then I've stamped with the black on top, and it seems to be, because the VersaFine Clair stays wet quite a long time, the ink that you stamp on top bleeds into it. So I need to try and remember to use archival underneath from VersaFine Clair, and then that won't happen. So there's a whole bunch of things going on. There's lots and lots of stamps with that one. I do like the 3 cats. We've got Milo, Shadow and Ziggy. The Webby tree is really cool. This is your witches in. Obviously you've got your pumpkins, and you've got lots and lots of spiders going on there. And this is quite a simple one. This is your 3 witches. So we've got Raven and 2 others. I can't remember the names, but we've got 3 witches. Again, this is VersaFine Claire at the back, and I've just about got away with it, but I can see the ink's kind of spreading a little bit. We've got the bats, which are really cool. And this is the Slanted Tree. So the Slanted Tree you can use kind of either way. So it's on this one here going up that way, but that way for the witches to sit on there. Oh, cool. That's really cool, Josephine. This one, I really adore this stamp here. This is your pumpkin house. Absolutely beautiful. And I've just coloured it in with the Sentimentally Yours watercolour blending brush pens. All these backgrounds are my oxide kind of backgrounds. Milo's in here. These are your wheat bits and pieces. I can't remember what they're called. Wheat stalks, I think. You've got your stacked mushrooms, which are really pretty. I think they're morels, aren't they? Those ones. You've got big sentiments, which are great for the cats to stand on. And this is Opal coming in, and she has like a pumpkin handbag that she can hold. And then that's it. That's all I've got in there. So I've done 6 so far. So we're going to try and do a couple today. So I will finish off my journal and start a new journal. So I've got a whole list of stamps that we're going to use. Yeah, the spider webs are really cool. I was worried that I might have Janice as my presenter, because you know she's got a real phobia about spiders, but I haven't. I've got Scott, so we're all right there. So this one, we're going to make it going that way up. And again, it's an oxide background. We've got carved pumpkin on here. We've got wilted violet, and we've got a little bit of twisted citron. And they're all the oxides. So you've got your oxide sprays, which I do like to use. Oh, my desk is so full. There's stuff falling all over the place. Right. So the plan, and I always had kind of a plan, is to have... I'm going to use my Webby tree, and we're going to have like a little bit of a forest going on, right? And then we're going to have our witches. We're going to have Lucinda, or we're going to have a moon in the background somewhere, up here somewhere. We're going to have Lucinda and Ursula, and they're going to be kind of having a bit of a standoff. The moon's going there. We'll probably bring in... There's Magic in the Air, and that will probably come in here. So Magic in the Air you can use at any time of year. That's going to come in here. I'm probably going to use the bats from Halloween Hello, which are actually separate. And then we'll probably bring in some cobwebs, because we can. I've used that one the most, because you've got lots and lots in there. You've got 4 webs. The corner's really useful. And then you've got 4 spideys. Right, so let's get stamping. So we know we want the webs down the bottom, the Webby tree. So we'll do that out of our stamping platform. I need to find a piece of paper. We'll go on the bottom of this, just so I don't make a mess. Here's my list, look, all the ones we're using. Have to have a plan. Right, so I need a block. Must have a block up here somewhere. That's too big, I don't want to use that one. Hang on a minute. Let me find a block that is a reasonable size. That's too small. Right, put that on there. Okay, so I want it that way up. So I've even written on it which way up. Sometimes I'm not awake. Right, so let's go for a brown. Let's go for Fallen Leaves, which will probably look black on the screen. VersaFine Claire, because we're not over stamping. Let's stop tapping. And let's have it so that it's about there. Stamping off the page. That looks very, very spooky. It's, but you know, like the Sleeping Beauty cartoon. I think it's Sleeping Beauty or Shrek, one or the other, because it's pretty much the same, isn't it? And there's like a forest, isn't there, that surrounds the castle. That's what I'm thinking of here. This is a spooky forest. Yeah, we don't like spiders in this house. I don't mind them when they're where they're supposed to be, outside. But when you get them with big hairy legs that come inside, I don't like them. And sometimes there's a shriek from Nathan's room because he doesn't like them either. Right, so there's my spooky backdrop. That works, doesn't it? Get rid of that piece of paper. Already looking good. I mean, spiders are around all the time, aren't they? They're not just Halloween. So again, you can use it all year round. I think you can do witchy kind of projects all year round, because I don't think witches just come out at Halloween. It's just what it's known for, isn't it? Right, so that's the one we've used, the web. Down there. And then we're going to go into our stamping platform. I'm going to use the creaky one because it fits better here. And I am working on the card, actually, because I'm going to put these in my journal. It's better for me to be able to store everything in my journals because of space. I've just got rid of loads of samples last week to a friend of mine that works in a charity because I just don't have the space. So if they all fit in the journals, it's great. And this actually measures 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. So you can easily get it on a 5 by 7 card. Let's do the moon first. And the moons have been designed so that obviously these two are the same size and those two are the same size. So if you want to, you can stamp one of them in a lighter colour and then stamp the other one on top. Or you can just use them all individually. You don't have to use them separately. Oh, your cat's a naughty cat, Annette. That's so naughty. We used to have a cat that used to eat spiders, but Ed doesn't. He just doesn't do anything with them, which is really disappointing. Right, so let's have I'm going to go for the solid one first, and I'll do that in a light colour, and then we'll put the spooky one on top. So let's have it there. And this is where I'm going to, because something might end up touching it, or I might put bats through the moon or whatever, I am going to go archival. And in fact, I might not go any of those. I might go and get another one out. Or not. To expand my colours of archival, we could go, because I don't know if this bright tan, let's go bright tan yellow. Let's do that. Let's go the orange one, and then we can put something like watering can on top. Or I'll tell you what we might do. We might put this purple on top, majestic violet. So let's see how we get on. I'm hoping they're not dry. Doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to put the other one on top. Obviously archival dries quite quickly, so you do have to work quite quickly, but because it dries quickly, it does mean that my Versaline Clear isn't going to splay all over the place. Honestly, I had to do a whole I don't learn my lesson because I end up having to do a whole project again. I can see the bubbles going on there, so that won't stamp very well. It's too dry. It's a bit annoying. Let's try again. I might end up going for Distress ink, which does stay wet, unfortunately. Come on. No, it's too light. I don't want to go for Versafine Clear. Oh, I'll tell you what we could do. Let's go for Distress. And we'll see whether a Distress acts in the same way. Let's go for our carved pumpkin. Excuse me. Which might be a bit blotchy. It's nothing like trying something on a Facebook Live, is there? Other reasons like doing it on live TV as well. Okay. A little bit patchy, that's fine. It's not a problem. Because we're going to put one on top. I need to clean that in a minute. Let's just put that to one side and I'll clean it in a minute. So we can then take our Spooky Moon, which is the same size, and we can line it up on top. Oops. It does look like there's a dinosaur or something, doesn't it, in it? Like so. And this one we will do in Jet Black Archival. Now, I had one of those last week. What did I do? You'd think I'd be organised, wouldn't you? I really ought to be. Ah, there it is. I knew I had one. Because this one's not so intense, and I do know that because I've got a reinker for this, so I do know that this should be reasonably juicy. As it's going all over the place on my stamping platform. We won't clean that off because it dries quick. Obviously, if you're not actually putting anything through it, or if you're actually going black on black, you can actually use the Versafine Clear. In fact, I probably might, because I'm going to go black on black anyway. So let's forget that. Just ignore that. Let's just go. Then we didn't do that. I'm going to go Versafine Clear because black on black won't show when that bleeds. You see the difference between using Versafine Clear and using archival. I've got a bubble, I can see a bubble there. So we peel that off, try and get rid of the bubble. It's not the stamp, it's just how it's been put down. Okay, so now we've got our Spooky Moon on top of our kind of solid moon. That's setting the scene. Let's that back. I just need to clean it. So do remember that if you use Distress Oxide or Distress Ink on your stamps, that you'll be wanting to clean them before you put them away. Right, so now we want our witches. What have I done with Ursula and what's it? Ursula and Lucinda. Oh, for heaven's sake, Julia. Where are they? Honestly, I drive myself nuts. Can you see them? Oh, gosh, that looks horrible. That sounds horrible. Right, let's put that to one side. Now, where have I done with those two stamps? Oh. Where are they? How can they have disappeared? Honestly, I'm going to just give up because I'll drive myself nuts. I've had them. They're there. I've got the empty packets. Where are they? That's what I want to use, so where are they? I've got Halloween Hello. I've lost the other one as well. The three I've taken off there, I've put somewhere. They're not in my pocket. They're not there. They're not there. Can you see them? What did I do with them? Ghostly intervention. I've got my ink pads. It's normally my ink pads that I lose. I've got these pads. Where the blinking heck, to put it politely, have those stamps gone? Isn't that weird? We might have to come back to this one in a minute and do another one. Where are they? What did I do with them? Tell me what I did with them. And they stuck on the one behind you. They're not, I didn't take them out of the packet, so they shouldn't actually be stuck to anything because I didn't take them out of the packet. Unless I put them in the packet I didn't put them in the packet by accident. Oh, this is so frustrating. I need those for tomorrow. I lost a die yesterday as well. It stuck to my magnetic bracelet and pinned off somewhere. I can't find that either. Oh, crikey. This is a really good Facebook Live, this, isn't it? Right, so... Right, we're going to put this one to one side just while I try and think about what I've done with it. And we're going to do the other one. And I'm not going to put the stamps anywhere. The packets are there. Where are they? Right. We're going to keep all these in their packets. Ah! No. Oh, I got excited then. I thought I spotted them. It's not like I had a lot on my... Ah, there they are. Panic over. Right. They'd slipped. Oh, my goodness me. Get a life, Julia. Right. So we just pretend the last 5 minutes didn't happen. Let's make the most of your Facebook Lives. Right. So we're going to have Ursula coming up there. And we're going to have Lucinda coming in there. And they're all going to both fit quite nicely. I haven't used Lucinda before. She's the only one of the 29 that I hadn't used on my 6th project. So it's pretty good going, isn't it? Using 28 stamps on 6 projects. Now you don't have to always use them on kind of coloured backgrounds. You could just, you know, ink through what's it called? An aperture stencil. Or you could, you know, use your jelly plate and just stamp around those to have lots of white areas around it. You don't have to be going for, you know, inky backgrounds all the time if that's not your thing. So our witches. So these are like our proper witches. Opal's like... a bit of a vampire because she's got kind of back kind of wings, and then we do have Ruby as well, who's the one with the cauldron. Really cool. Where's my bit of tissue? I know where that is, just didn't know where my stamp. They'd slipped behind something. Better today than tomorrow. Another go. Did you actually catch me looking for something though, Jane? I spent 5 minutes looking for things. This is a problem with my desk. I was saying to Leonie though, part of the problem is that there's no time to tidy up. Well, I don't make time to tidy up between one set of shows and the next, because although I've got shows tomorrow, I'm already prepping for the ones that I'm doing next weekend. So because I have to, because I just don't know what's going to crop up, so I do have to make sure that I'm well kind of prepped. I'm getting a few bubbles when I'm laying these down. It is me. I don't know why I'm doing this, because I can see them just a little bit more, just because she's not. And she's the one that I hadn't stamped before. Sometimes you'll see that the Versafine Claire pulls a little bit on the stamps. That's better. And then the best thing to do is just to clean them off and then re-ink. It's just that there's some manufacturing residue left on the stamp. Right, so put these away. This is Ursula. And she's this one. They go together really well. But if you're one of these people that's only inclined to kind of go left to right, then you might want one witch and you might not want both of them. I will be, the stamps are, though they're on the craft store tomorrow, the stamps are available on my website to pre-order now. Because I'm at the craft store tomorrow, I couldn't get my delivery tomorrow, and the next delivery is going to be Thursday, so that's when my stamps are coming in. I will be keeping an eye on the stamps, because although I did a pre-order amount and then I added more to it, some of them are already low in number. So I will probably be putting another order in, but that will be that probably won't get delivered until well, it's either very late this week or early next week. So we can have There's Magic in the Air just down there. Let's start that first, see if we can get that straight. And we could add a little bit of brown to the actual branches of the tree if we wanted to. I probably won't bother on this one. I do like not having to colour loads in. I'm getting very lazy. It just shows you, if you're not searching for 5 minutes for a stamp, you can actually make things quite quickly. So there's Magic in the Air, which could be with your fairies, it could be with your dragons. Really useful sentiment. And do we want to add some bats? I think we might. Let's add some bats. So we could add some bats around the sentiment, just like we've got with the Halloween Hello either side. We could add some down there. And we can add some above in a minute, but we'll get some spider webs on in a minute and then decide whether we want any more bats on or not. Creek. Sounds like my knees. I know I say that, but it really is like my knees. They're really cool, the bats. Obviously you've got your flying bats as well that you can use as a separate stamp. So that's those. Let's get some speedies on as well. You have got, there's a web background which is quite nice to use in the background as well. But I don't think this needs much more to it actually. We just put some spider webs on because we can. There's my little block. There it is. I found that straight away. Did you see? Straight away I found that. Makes a change. Yeah, juliawattscrafts.co.uk. And if you just go to the brand section, it's a drop down menu at the top, then you can scroll down, find Fairy Hugs, and they're all in release order, so you'll find the Halloween ones first. So we're going to pop a web in this corner. I like doing this. I like having my webby corners. It's such a useful stamp. So we have on this side as well. Like that. Oh, dirty mark. Shh. It's all right. It's a spooky background. We get away with it. Don't like dirty marks. But it's really easy, isn't it? It's not difficult. So we could put a spider on here. Like that. So you've got a spider there. They normally come down, don't they? Not up. I don't know why I did it that way. And then we can have a spider coming down. Oh, very straight. If you're not confident about stamping them, just pop it in your platform. You can have more coming down. And he's going to frighten that witch. I think we're done. So just put a little bit of, because I've got wilty violet in the background, we put a little bit of wilty violet around the edges, being careful not to stick my thumb on any of the stamped areas. You notice I'm not scrubbing like that because I know that my VersaFine Clair is wet, and so I don't want to smudge some of the areas next to the edge. It just adds a little bit to the edge. Like that. So now when that goes into my last page of my first journal I've ever finished. See how fat it is? There's all fairy hugs in there. Fairy hugs only. See how cool that's going to look? I'll stick it in afterwards. But pop it onto black and it pops. Really cool, isn't it? Okay, so that's that one. So let's do the other one. On a roll. Put my spider away. And let's see if we can actually get through this next one without an issue. So we know we're already going on to a kind of blue and purple background. Just because it's Halloween, you don't have to go with the traditional Halloween colours. I mean, I've gone for predominantly yellow, no, not yellow, orange, purple and green. But this one here is, it's got some wilty violet in it, it's got some Mermaid Lagoon, and it's got another one as well. Which one else did it have? Yeah, Blueprint Sketch. So it's that one, and that one. Those are 3 Distress Oxides used in that background. And I have demoed this before on the craft store, and it is on one of the Fairy Hugs YouTube videos as well. And this one's got, because it was quite wet, I picked it up and let it drip, so it's got kind of movement going on with it. And I'm doing this one this way round, okay, apparently. So I have a plan with this one as well. Let's get rid of those for now. And we're using the 3 Pussycats. We're using Milo, Shadow and Ziggy. We've also got the castle, the tree castle. We've got Trick or Treat, and we've got the stone stage, and we've got the witchy dwellers, and we're also using this spider web. See, I'm really going for it. Lots and lots and lots and lots of stamps. Yeah, you can absolutely put them in a frame and display them, absolutely. And I think a lot of them are like that because they're, you know, you could do, like I say, you could do a really simple one. You could ink through an aperture and just perhaps stamp a witch coming up through the aperture, pop a stencil on, you know, a sentiment on, and that could be it. Or you could, you know, add a little, you know, some spooky, some spider web corners or whatever you want to. You can do as much or as little as you want to. But obviously, I'm at the moment, because these all work together so well, I'm throwing loads of different things at it. Now, this is the web background. You can see mine's quite stained because it's stained with archival, and archival ink does actually stain your stamps. But don't worry about that. So let's see whether this majestic purple is going to work or not, or whether it's going to be too light. So let's not ink it all up. Let's just see what it would do on the back. Yeah, it does do something, so that's all right. So this one's quite juicy then in that case. Obviously, if you've got the bigger archivals, then you're going to be able to ink up quicker. So we're just going to have this in the background. Because it's quite random, we can just stamp it as is, not worry about it too much. So it's just added a little bit of interest. Can you see that? Yeah, you can just about see that. So we're just going to go on the bottom. Don't worry about lining it up. Let's hope I've not turned that round and I'm actually going to stamp something. Oh yes, well done, Julia. And now we're going to stamp on the edge. So I'm not worried about lining it up, because you just don't. All I'm doing is adding a bit more interest to my background, and because it's archival, my VersaFine Clear isn't going to seep out along the edges of the web. If you want it to, then that's fine, but it bugs me a lot. And just a little bit down the bottom. Okay, there's our webby background. Right, not bothered about cleaning that off. I rarely clean archival off because it dries so quickly. I don't bother. Right, okay, so the idea is that we are going to have, let me see if I can remember what I was going to have. Let's try not to lose these. If I put them here next to me, I won't lose them. So we're going to have a tree there. And the idea is to have these stone stages stepping down. And that'll probably stand on one down there. And then the cats are going to be walking down the stone stage, and we're going to have Trick or Treat in the top. Up there. Okay, right, so we're going to be stamping off of the page, so we are going to go into the big stamping platform, into the Press to Impress from Press 2. I'll do it this way, just because I want to get the stone stages in, you know, nice and juicy. So I might need to stamp them more than once. I can do my Trick or Treat at the top at the same time, because I know that that's not going to interfere with anything. So this is going to go, let's have one off the page like that first of all, I think. And then we'll have Trick or Treat up here. I'm going to go with the Nocturne again, the black, because it's quite a dark background, and I want to make sure that it all stands out really nicely. Make sure that's butted right into the corner, not off the corner, Julia, but into the corner, so that if it moves I can reseat it. Okay, right. Stay there, stamps, not the other side. Acetate, black, that's Fallen Leaves. I might have stamped some of the others in Fallen Leaves instead of black. That's part of the course. It is quite a dark brown, so it doesn't really matter. getting to the point where I might get a new Nocturne Versify and Clear out for tomorrow. Treat myself. Because I've had that one going for 2 months now. Still haven't managed to get a re-inker from my supplier, which is really annoying, seeing as I asked for the re-inker. Trick or treat. Actually, that's come out nice. I don't mind that that's a little bit lighter at there and there. I might leave that as it is because I do quite like that. It makes it a little bit spookier. Thanks, Di. I will actually process the orders in the order that they're received. So I think the order's supposed to be, because it's usually supposed to be coming in Thursday, kind of lunchtime-ish. That's the time they normally arrive. But there are quite a few, so I might not get them all done on Thursday, but then I'll do the rest on Friday. And then, like I say, if any of the extended pre-order, it will indicate, as soon as I put the extended pre-orders on, it will indicate that on the date on my website. So rather than saying the 6th, which is actually going to be the 7th, it'll say another date. So don't chase me unless it's marked as dispatched and you haven't received it within, I don't know, 4 or 5 days. I do think Royal Mail are taking a little bit. Why don't I put that one away? I need that. Royal Mail are taking quite a while at the moment with some of their orders. I'm waiting for something that was posted first class on Tuesday still, which is a little bit annoying. Right. I have here a mask of the Stone Stage, because I do want to make sure that it steps down neatly and it doesn't overlap. So all I've done is used a post-it note. There is a woodware masket sheet as well that you can use. See, talking, forgot what I was doing. So this one's going to step down a little bit, like that. So let's get this stamped, and then we'll know what we're doing after this, rather than complicate stuff. We'll make sure that I get this stamped properly. The only reason I haven't used a woodware masket sheet is I can't find them in my craft room. I am having quite a clear out, so I'm not doing memory box shows anymore, just because I can't cope with the number of suppliers that I've been working with. It's nothing to do with their product. So all my memory box dies are going in the pre-love section, and there's some Just Right gone in there. There's some very old Sentimentally Yours. There's quite a few clear out bits. Once they're gone, they're gone. Right, so let's get another one going on. John gave me some acetate, but goodness knows what I've done with that. Where's my acetate for that now? There it is. I'm just using the acetate so I can then do this. So I think what we might do is build one up in a minute. That's stepping down to that. You see what I'm doing? I'm using the acetate so that, because the stamp's dirty, using the acetate to pick it up and then take the acetate off. Otherwise, all that might not be where I want it. So this one is taking a little bit longer because obviously I'm masking and stamping. Now, because I want to stand the what's it called, the tree castle, that's what it's called, isn't it? Yeah, onto one of these as well. I need my other mask, wherever it's gone. Don't tell me I'm going to have to cut one out. There it is. I'm Oh, I've got two. Do I need that on there? Oh no, I don't need that one. If I had one on the other side and then we're stamping that one, which is probably what I should have done. Talking again. We'll put that one back on there again. We'll stamp one further up, but we need to move over so we can fit it in. You can tell my mind's chugging away, can't you? Where's the stamp? There it is. Acetate. So I want my tree. My tree's going to come in, and my tree's going to be kind of here. So it needs something to stand on up here. Ish. Okay. It'll all be revealed when all the masks come off. So one more, and then we'll stamp the tree castle. You bored yet? That's fine, June, that's fine. I know it's a Sunday morning. Not everybody's got time. You know, it's always in the video section forever. And I do try and get them onto YouTube as well. But YouTube's been a bit funny about letting me put an image on the front of my video. Don't know why it's doing that. So now we take that off, and we've got our stony, we see, got our stony base. Works quite well, doesn't it? So you keep your masks to use as long as they stay sticky. And now we're going to stamp our tree castle. We can probably stamp our cats as well. So the web background works quite nicely with it, doesn't it? Just adds a bit more interest. Look at my fingers. Par for the course. So that's going to go on there like that. Oh, I might need to move it over just a fraction. I can't get it all in. Like that. Do make sure that your roots are below the causeway. We're going to call it causeway now, aren't we? Below this, so that the roots aren't floating on air. Don't worry too much, because you can always get a Pigment Micron pen or something and just colour in an area to make it look like it's, you know, further up than it is. Let's just clean that off my acetate. Onto my desk, of course. It's just an old table, my desk. Folding table from when I had my shop. Right, so that's that. Done trick or treat. Done doing the castle now. So we're going to get the little kitties. So we've got no moon. We could add a moon in, probably before we did the trick or treat, or definitely before we did the trick or treat. You see, you can as you're doing these, you think about all the things that you can do with them, and you get more ideas for more scenes as you go. So that one's shadow. I tend to always put Milo in the middle for some unknown reason. Shadow on the left, then Milo. So he's down here. Again, make sure they're actually on the stone. They're all going on a little excursion to the tree castle, where they're going to have a picnic when they get up there. I think they're quite naughty pussycats. Okay, so I can do all those at the same time. Okay, make sure that's right up. Again, just going with black. You don't need lots of inks when you're doing silhouette stamps, unless you want a change in colour. Sometimes it's nice to use some of the browns. So we've got acorn, we've got falling leaves, and we've got pine cone. There's 3 browns that Versafine Claire do, but black is the one that makes everything pop. Oh, its tail's off the edge. That's all right. Bit of movement. Not everything has to fit. close up without moving it. So we need to go again. It's shaping up nicely, isn't it? I'm quite pleased with this. Inky fingers, definitely. If you haven't got inky fingers when you're doing this, then you've not done it properly. Look, this is how I lost my die. I've got one of them magnetic sort of wand things that I've been poking around in the bin with, but I haven't found a magnet yet. And it's really useful, not magnet, die. It's a really useful little die as well. And I need it for next weekend. It's so annoying. There we go. There they go. They're nice and deep now. Look super, don't they? Absolutely super. So I don't think we need much more with this. I think we're definitely going to bring in the witchy dwellers as well, because they're going to fly. They're flying to the tree castle because they're going to the party as well. In fact, I think the three kitties are a bit late because they're supposed to be taking the buffet with them, which they've obviously forgotten because there's not enough stuff in their little bag. Well, there's only one bag because they've got the jack-o'-lanterns, but they've only got one bag, which is it could be a birthday present that Shadow's got in his little bag. So where's my little kitty bits? Kitty bits, kitty bits, kitty bits. Oh, here we go again. Where's all my kitty packets? I won't make you watch that, but I will put them all on here because I don't know what I'm doing with my... Oh, there they are. There's all my kitty packets. I am a little bit funny about putting all these away because if I don't put them away, then you can imagine I lose them. And I like to have both of my little sheets back and front so they're all stored properly. This is how you get inky fingers picking your stamps up. I love these little cats. I am currently out of stock of Nala, who is one of the stamps from the previous release, but there should be more stock coming in on Thursday. So I haven't added any of that stock on yet because occasionally there's you know, ones that I can't be sent. The Halloween stock's fine, but so just click on the email unavailable button if you want Nala. And there's also the fireworks, which is also coming in on Thursday as well. I've managed to get some more of those. So here you can see that looks like it's floating, but it isn't. That is the top of the causeway. So we can colour that in brown, not in brown, in grey, and that will look marvellous. So let's have a few of these witchy dwellers coming in. How are we doing for time? Nearly an hour, not too bad. Some witchy dwellers. So a lot of them go left to right. There's just one that goes right to left. So they can all be coming in to the party. This one's coming in from down here. And then we can have one coming further afield. That one. Perhaps not one at the top. We can have one. Let's move that over a little bit. Coming in down there maybe. Or not. Yeah. And one more. Let's have the fifth one because it'd be rude to not have the fifth one in there. Might not even get the webs on this one. I think we'll leave the webs off this one because we've got the spider web in the background, and there's quite a lot going on with this. I say, you can do different size cards. You don't have to have such a big scene. You don't have to have all 3 cats. You could just have one of the cats and do a smaller scene. Make perhaps a 4x6 card. Look at the mess I've made here. Let's leave that bit of mess there, perhaps. Press. Yeah, they look good. Okay. So if I just very quickly get pens out. And grey, this is set 2, the watercolour blending brush pens. So very quickly just add in the grey. And that ground it. So who's to know whether you got it right or not. The pens will go fine on the oxide background. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. If you end up bringing your water brush in, sometimes you do get the colour moving. So if we just go pen direct over the top, occasionally you'll find that you pick up a little bit of colour onto your pen. There's a bit of water paper. Here you go. That one stayed the same, but sometimes you do actually pick a little bit up. So just clean your nib. You just so just by cleaning the nib, I don't mean put it in water. Don't do that. Just scribble onto a spare piece of card and it'll come true. So you won't damage them. I don't normally get time to do this, and sometimes it's nice to add a little bit of colour, even if it is all grey. I know when Bonnie does her Facebook Live, she's quite good at adding with the white gel pen to accent things. I make quite a mess of that when I do that. It's all practice though, so I tend to not do it. I mean, it's your project. If you want to do it, do it. There are some stunning samples. So if you're not a member of the Fairy Hugs store Facebook group, do pop over there and request to join, because that's when all the sneak peeks start and all of the design team share their makes on there. There's also, let's do should we do these in, let's do this, we need a brown. So yeah, they all share their makes on there, and it's just a really good inspiration point. It's also very good for us to see your makes on there as well, because I know that a lot of you have got Fairy Hugs now, because obviously I've got a lot of customers that buy, and I know they do well on the craft store. So it would be really nice if we saw some of your makes as well. I know I ask for that every time on the craft store, but nobody emails in, and I can't believe you've not made anything with all these stamps that you've got. So do share, don't be embarrassed, because, you know, if you think it's not good enough, it absolutely is. And we love to see, we really, really do. Oh, made a bit of a mess there, that's a bit annoying. Slipped with my pen. How am I going to hide that? If I can lift it, this will probably be a mistake. That's not. Happy with that. And so those are brown, and then we do these, just do these in grey as well, because stone castles are normally grey, aren't they? See how much it changes when you add a little bit of colour to it. It just pops a little bit more. Lots of turrets on this. Obviously you can do some of them different colours, but I'll just go with grey. And I'm not being particularly careful. I'm not thinking about shading. I'm just adding the colour. and it goes over the. Don't worry about the Versafine Claire, because the Versafine Claire will be fine with you going over the top of it. There we go. Oh, and up there. And once again, we'll go around the edge with our wilted violet. If you've used them, Ronnie, do share. We absolutely love to see it, because I mean, obviously there's quite a large design team now with Fairy Hugs. There's the main design team that do the samples for the television, so they get all the new release soon, and then there's also a social media team as well. I think there's one based in the US, but there's also a social media team based in the UK as well. There's 7 members in the UK, and so I mean, there's a huge variation of projects that you'll see on the Fairy Hugs store Facebook page and on Instagram as well. But yes, we would definitely like to see your makes. That is going to go in my new binder. So once this goes onto black, that's going to go in there, and so that will be my first page in my new journal. So that's it. Just over an hour. It would have been less than an hour had I not spent 5 minutes looking for something. So we've done 2 projects. Quick and easy, both of them really. See, there's nothing complicated in them, so you can definitely do this. Anybody can do this. Easy peasy. All you need to do is buy the stamps. So as I said, they are available for pre-order, if there's any left, on my website, juliawattscrafts.co.uk, in the brand section Fairy Hugs. And they will be dispatching from Thursday. I know it says Wednesday, but it will be from Thursday, unless UPS get their finger out and do me the delivery on Wednesday instead. And I'll keep an eye on the numbers, and I will add another order in if I need to, and that will have a later dispatch date. So thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you on the craft store tomorrow morning at 9 AM and 1 PM in the afternoon. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye.